Have you ever asked yourself this? What if tonight, you were going to die? Think about it, not in a morbid way, but in a raw, honest, and awakening way. Would you spend your afternoon any differently? Would you savor the wind, the color of the sky, the way your coffee smells in your cup? Would you sit down and have a real conversation with the people you love? Not just a quick, "How's your day?" but the kind that makes time stand still. If tomorrow was your last sunrise, would you sleep through it? This isn't just a thought exercise. It's a wake-up call. Because the truth is, most people don't really live. They survive. They get through. They go to bed just to wake up and repeat. But what if we flipped the script? What if each morning you woke up like it was your last chance to do this life right? There's an ancient code called Bushido. It's often simplified as the way of the warrior. Most people hear that and think, oh, it means being willing to die for something. But that's just the surface. The deeper meaning. It's not about dying. It's about living, in every breath. Every decision. Every interaction. Bushido is about seeking perfection in your manners, your discipline, your thoughts, your energy. It's about showing up every day with intention. In fact, Bushido draws from Shinto, an old Japanese belief system where everything is spiritual. That means the sunrise isn't just pretty, it's sacred. A conversation with a friend isn't casual, it's divine. You, yes, you, are not just a body going through motions. You are a soul on a mission. But here's the thing, are you living like that? Ask yourself honestly. Are you living with passion, or are you dragging yourself through the day, just trying not to fail? Are you grounded in purpose, or are you stuck in fear? Because fear makes you shrink. Fear tells you to stay safe, don't take risks, don't dream too big, don't love too hard, don't speak too loudly. And that's how most people live, on survival mode. Scared to fail, scared to be judged, scared to step outside the lines. But when you're driven by purpose instead of fear, everything changes. Your energy shifts. Your confidence grows. Your life stops being accidental and starts being intentional. Let me say this as clearly as I can. Without purpose, you'll always feel lost. You'll always be wondering, is this it? Is this all life is? You'll chase things, money, approval, likes on a post, but none of it will fill the hole. Because purpose is the only thing that gives you depth. It gives you a reason to get up. A reason to keep going. A reason to fight, to forgive, to lead, to start over. Without purpose, you're just floating. With it, you become unstoppable. So here's the challenge. Don't wait for something dramatic to wake you up. Don't wait for loss or regret or rock bottom. Wake yourself up, now. You don't need a perfect plan. You just need a clear why. Start by asking, what do I believe in? What am I willing to stand for? What legacy do I want to leave? That's your starting point. That's where purpose lives. The rest is practice. Because living with purpose isn't something you stumble into. It's something you build, step by step, moment by moment, morning by morning. Every single day is a brick. Every thought is a brick. Every action is a brick. You're either building something great, or you're tearing it down. So let me ask you this. What kind of life are you building? When your time is up, and the people who loved you gather to remember you, what do you want them to say? Do you want them to say you played it safe? That you followed the rules? That you were nice, polite, invisible? Or do you want them to say you lived full out? That you chased the sun? That you spoke the truth? That you made them feel seen, and heard, and loved? That you left the world better than you found it. If that's the life you want, then it starts tomorrow morning. Actually, no. It starts now, with the decision to no longer live on autopilot. So close your eyes and picture the version of you that lives with fire, with courage, with joy. What time does that person wake up? What choices do they make? What energy do they walk with? Who do they surround themselves with? Start acting like that person, today. Even if it's just for 5 minutes. And then tomorrow, do it again. The path to purpose doesn't require perfection. It just requires one thing: presence. You don't need to have it all figured out. You just need to show up. Eyes open. Heart open. Feet on the ground. Let's talk about mornings. Not just getting up, but rising, with intention, with power, with discipline. Most people wake up when they have to. What if you started waking up before the world expects you to? What if the first thing you did every day was conquer your own resistance? John wakes up at 4 a.m. every morning. Not because he has to. Because he chooses to. Because it's hard. Let that sink in. He wakes up early because it's a struggle. Because pushing yourself to do hard things rewires your identity. It sends a message to your mind. I am not soft. I am not average. I choose discipline over comfort. See, most people hit snooze because they think sleep is rest. But here's the truth: there's no real rest when your spirit is restless. And your spirit doesn't find peace by avoiding the hard. It finds peace by facing it. Waking up early is not just about productivity. It's not about some hustle culture flex. It's about self-respect. It's about taking ownership of the one thing you can control: how you begin your day. Because how you start your morning sets the tone for your entire life. Now, John doesn't just wake up early. He throws his body into a cold plunge, 55 degrees Fahrenheit water, within 10 minutes of getting out of bed. Why? Because it wakes up your brain in the most primal way. Let's be honest, your alarm clock doesn't wake you up. You're still foggy. You're still halfway dreaming. Your brain's still in sleep mode. You might think, let me sit and meditate. But your body's not ready. You'll fall asleep again. You'll drift. You've got to boot up the system. Your brain is like a computer. And if you don't jolt it into alertness, it stays sluggish. That's where physiological change comes in. You can activate your brain through movement. 50 burpees. A cold shower. A fast run. Breath work. John uses cold water. Why? Because it shocks the body. It flips the internal switch from passive to primal. In seconds, your heart rate rises, your blood circulates faster, your lungs expand, and your mind clicks into full focus. You don't need coffee. You don't need to scroll social media. You need ownership of your state. And that's what cold exposure or intense physical movement gives you. It resets your nervous system, clears the fog, and tells your body, it's time to go. This is more than a routine. This is how warriors prepare for the day. You are the battlefield. And if you don't win the morning, you've already lost the war. Now ask yourself, when was the last time you did something uncomfortable first thing in the morning? When was the last time you tested your limits, before sunrise? If you want to grow, to lead, to succeed, you can't be comfortable. The comfort zone is where your dreams go to die. Discomfort is not the enemy. Discomfort is the gateway. It's the mountain you climb every morning. And every step you take makes you stronger. John says it perfectly. It's about climbing the mountain. Every day. Step by step. Not for show, but for growth. And you don't need to climb Everest. You just need to get up earlier than you want to. To move when your body says no. To take the cold shower. To go outside barefoot on the grass. To meditate when your mind is busy. Because these aren't just habits. They are declarations. Declarations that say, I am not ruled by comfort. I choose effort over excuses. I rise when others sleep because I believe in what I'm building. And here's what most people get wrong. They think you need motivation to do this. You don't. You need commitment. Discipline. Vision. Motivation fades. But purpose doesn't. And once you wire your body and mind to wake up and act with purpose, everything changes. You stop dreading the day. You stop reacting to life. You start commanding it. The real transformation doesn't happen in the grand moments. It happens in the first 10 minutes of your day. When you get up, tired. When your brain says, go back to bed. When you move anyway. When you breathe, stretch, plunge, sweat. That's when your identity changes. That's when the excuses die. That's when you become who you were meant to be. So here's your challenge for tomorrow morning. Set your alarm for 4:45 a.m. Get up the second it rings. Do 20 burpees. Take a cold shower for 2 minutes. Go outside and breathe in the morning air. Then sit in silence. And listen. Listen to the version of you that's waking up. The one that doesn't wait for motivation. The one that builds discipline through discomfort. The one that is no longer afraid to lead their own life. The warrior. The creator. The master of mornings. In a world that never stops moving. Where notifications scream for your attention. Where calendars are packed and to-do lists never end. What happens when you finally pause? What happens when you stop and simply be? Most people are afraid of stillness. They confuse it with laziness. They think if they slow down, they'll fall behind. But here's the truth no one tells you. Stillness isn't the opposite of progress. Stillness is what makes progress sustainable. You can grind all week. You can wake up early, train hard, work focused. But without recovery, without reflection, you're just running in circles. There is a sacred rhythm to life. Push and pull. Work and rest. Expansion and contraction. And if you ignore that rhythm, your body will eventually force you to listen. Through burnout. Through fatigue. Through disconnection. So what if, instead of waiting for collapse, you chose to build intentional rest into your weekly routine? Not rest filled with scrolling and distractions, but rest that nourishes your soul. A day to recalibrate. A day to breathe slower. To move gently. To journal, to walk, to reconnect with something deeper than deadlines. You could call it your reset day. Your alignment day. Your spiritual day. Whatever name speaks to you. But the point is this. You don't just need a break from doing. You need space for being. Here's what that could look like. No alarms. Let your body wake when it's ready. A slow morning walk. Not for steps or stats, just to feel the breeze. Journaling, not to be productive, but to be honest. Ask yourself, oh, what am I carrying that I need to let go of? Oh, what moments this week felt truly alive? Oh, what does my heart need that I've been ignoring? A nourishing meal. A short meditation or prayer, silent or spoken. A digital detox. A break from the constant stream of input. Time in nature. Barefoot on the earth. Eyes lifted to the sky. This isn't indulgence. It's maintenance of the most important asset in your life, you. Rest isn't just for the body. It's for the spirit. And your spirit needs silence to speak. Because in the silence, something sacred happens. You remember who you are. You remember what matters. You remember that you are not a machine. You are a soul in a body. You are a creator, not just a worker. You are allowed to slow down without losing momentum. In fact, slowing down is often what helps you see more clearly. It's where new ideas are born. Where old wounds begin to heal. Where gratitude rises to the surface. Where clarity emerges without being forced. So here's your invitation. Choose one day a week, not someday, not when life gets less busy, this week. Claim it. Make it sacred. Protect it from the noise. Treat it like a temple. And enter that space with intention. You don't need candles or mantras or a perfect routine. You just need permission. To unplug. To exhale. To come home to yourself. Because all week, the world demands your energy. Your job. Your family. Your goals. Your phone. But this day, this one day belongs to you. And when you honor it, you don't lose your edge. You sharpen it. You don't fall behind. You rise higher, more grounded, more focused, more aligned. Rest is not the end of the work. It's the root of it. And in that sacred stillness, you'll remember what no calendar can teach you. You are not here just to perform. You are here to be whole. Oh, you've woken up before the world. You've trained your body to push through resistance. You've grounded yourself in silence and reconnected with the earth. You've learned to rest, not as escape, but as a sacred reset. And now, it's time to live differently. To live on purpose. Every morning gives you a choice. You can repeat yesterday's autopilot. Or you can create today, with clarity, courage, and presence. Because here's the truth most people avoid. You don't need more time. You need more intention. You don't need to chase a new goal. You need to wake up and remember the one you already have, to live fully, now. That starts in the first hour of your day. Not just with what you do, but with who you decide to be. Are you the kind of person who delays purpose until it's convenient? Or are you the kind of person who shows up, tired, unmotivated, but ready? Because motivation will fail you. Perfection will slow you. But intention, that's always available. The secret isn't to chase massive transformation. It's to build tiny revolutions into your morning. Wake up 30 minutes earlier. Move your body before the world moves you. Sit in silence before the noise begins. Write down one thought that grounds you. Drink water like it's fuel for your mission. Breathe like your breath matters, because it does. Speak to yourself with the same power you'd speak to someone you love. These small moments are not small. They are the seeds of a new identity. And when you repeat them, not once, but daily, you stop waiting for change. You become the change. Because a disciplined morning builds a powerful day. And a powerful day becomes a powerful life. Not because everything is perfect, but because you are present for it. The sunrise, the sweat, the stillness, the silence. All of it, your life, right now. You don't need to start over. You don't need to escape. You need to commit to showing up with purpose in your breath, your steps, your voice. You're not broken. You're becoming. And every morning is another chance to begin again. So here's your final reminder. Don't wait for a breakdown to start your breakthrough. Don't wait for clarity to act with courage. Don't wait for someone to give you permission, you are already enough. You have a fire inside you that's been asking for structure. You have a vision inside you that's been waiting for space. You have a voice inside you that's been silenced by noise. Let your morning be the place where that voice returns. Let your body become the home where purpose lives. Let your life be your message, loud, clear, and aligned. Because how you live your morning is how you shape your destiny. So rise with intention. Move with power. Rest with reverence. Speak with truth. And live like it matters, because it does. Now that you've built a strong foundation, early wake-ups, physical discipline, spiritual grounding, stillness and reflection, let's go deeper. Let's talk about the part that makes all the difference. Identity. Because no matter how powerful your habits are, if your self-image doesn't evolve, eventually, you'll sabotage your own growth. Why? Because your actions will always reflect who you believe you are. You can push for a few days, a few weeks. But if, deep down, you still see yourself as the same tired, inconsistent, unworthy version, you'll snap back to autopilot. So the real work now is internal. You must become the leader of your own life. That doesn't mean becoming loud. It doesn't mean controlling others. It means showing up with clarity, courage, and consistency. Even when no one is watching. Leadership starts with self-respect. It starts when you choose integrity over impulse. When you keep your promises to yourself. Even the small ones like, I'll wake up at 5. I'll move for 20 minutes. I won't scroll first thing. I'll write down what I'm grateful for. Each time you follow through, you say to your subconscious, I am who I say I am. And that's power. Because in a world full of noise, chaos, and external opinions, true strength is quiet. It's the calm in the storm. The eye of the hurricane. The steady presence in a room full of reactivity. And you can become that. But only if you stop outsourcing your identity. Only if you stop waiting for approval to start living with purpose. There's a voice in you right now. A quiet, knowing voice. That says, this is who I really am. This is who I was meant to be. But you've ignored it. Buried it under fear, excuses, doubt, comparison. It's time to bring that voice back to the surface. How? By acting like that person today. Even if it's messy. Even if it's uncomfortable. Even if you're scared. Act as the leader of your life. Own your routine. Own your energy. Own your reactions. Own your growth. And remember this. Discipline isn't punishment. Discipline is an act of self-love. You don't train hard because you hate yourself. You train hard because you love who you're becoming. You don't wake up early because you have something to prove. You do it because your mission matters. Your presence matters. You matter. And when you treat your life like it matters, the world begins to reflect that belief. So here's your invitation as we close this extended journey. No more waiting. No more hoping. No more starting and stopping. Stand up. Stand still. Stand strong. Be the one who rises when others sleep. Be the one who grounds instead of reacts. Be the one who lives fully, breath by breath, step by step. You're not here to just survive your mornings. You're here to own them. And in doing so, you'll own everything that follows.